Have you ever felt that thrill? That pulse of raw power and freedom? All wrapped up in a single, iconic shape? For over 60 years, one car has captured that feeling better than any other, the Ford Mustang. But this legend wasn't born overnight. Its story is one of bold risks, brilliant engineering, and a deep connection with the American spirit. Today, we're putting the pedal to the metal and racing through the incredible history of the Ford Mustang. Let's rewind to the early 1960s. The post-war baby boomers were coming of age. They were young, optimistic, and craved excitement. They didn't want their parents' big, sensible sedans. They wanted something sporty, affordable, and personal. Ford's vice president, the legendary Lee Iacocca, saw this gap in the market. He envisioned a car that was compact, stylish, and highly customizable, a car for the new generation. His team was tasked with creating a personal car that could be a thrifty commuter, a high-performance muscle car, or a luxurious cruiser, all depending on the options the buyer chose. The project was internally codenamed T5, and the challenge was on. After considering names like Cougar and Torino, they landed on Mustang. It evoked the spirit of the wild American horse and the legendary P-51 Mustang fighter plane from World War II, a perfect blend of freedom and power. On April 17, 1964, at the New York World's Fair, the world got its first look. Ford unleashed a marketing blitz like no other, with simultaneous TV commercials on all three major networks. The public reaction was explosive. Ford had hoped to sell 100,000 units in the first year. They sold 22,000 on the very first day. The pony car class was born, and the Mustang was its undisputed king. The first generation Mustang, running from 1964.5 to 1973, is pure Americana. With its long hood, short rear deck, and sporty styling, it was an instant classic. The genius was in the options list. You could get a base model with a modest inline-six engine for economical driving. Or you could tick the boxers for a powerful V8, a 4-speed manual, and performance upgrades. This era gave us some of the most sought-after Mustangs ever built. Think of the partnership with Carroll Shelby. The Shelby GT350 and the monstrous GT500 weren't just cars. They were street-legal race cars. The Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. That's a 67 Shelby GT500. Then came the Mach 1, the Boss 302, and the Boss 429, names that still make enthusiast hearts race today. Each one was a testament to Ford's commitment to performance and style. But the party couldn't last forever. By the early 1970s, the world was changing. The 1973 oil crisis hit, and gas prices skyrocketed. Insurance companies were charging a fortune for high-performance cars, and new emissions regulations were choking the big V8 engines. The muscle car era was fading, and the Mustang had to adapt or die. This led to one of the most controversial chapters in the car's history. The Mustang II. Introduced in 1974, the Mustang II was a completely different animal. It was based on the smaller Ford Pinto platform and was designed with fuel efficiency, not raw power, in mind. There wasn't even a V8 option in its first year. Many purists were horrified. They saw it as a betrayal of the Mustang's heritage. But here's the thing. The public loved it. The Mustang II was the right car for the right time. It was named Motor Trend's Car of the Year in 1974, and it sold like crazy. It may not have had the muscle of its predecessors, but it kept the Mustang name alive during a very tough time for the auto industry. A V8 engine did return in 1975, but it was a shadow of its former self. The Mustang II proved that survival sometimes means changing your stripes, or your horsepower rating. As the 70s gave way to the 80s, tastes shifted again. The market was ready for a performance to make a comeback, and Ford was ready to deliver. In 1979, the third-generation Fox body Mustang debuted, built on the versatile Fox platform. This Mustang had a clean, modern, European-inspired design. It was lighter, more aerodynamic, and handled better than any Mustang before it. The Fox body era, which lasted all the way to 1993, is beloved for re-injecting performance into the brand. The 5.0-liter V8, pronounced 5.0, became a cultural icon, celebrated in songs and revered on the street. The 1982 Mustang GTS slogan was "The Boss is Back." And it was no joke. This was the car that brought affordable V8 performance to a new generation and became a favorite of tuners and drag racers, a legacy that continues to this day. By the early 90s, the Fox body's sharp angles were looking a bit dated. For its 30th anniversary in 1994, Ford introduced the fourth generation Mustang, codenamed SN95. It was a major redesign, with a smooth, rounded, and more muscular body that paid homage to the classic Mustangs of the 60s. The iconic side scoops were back. The interior was also completely modernized. While the trusty 5.0 V8 was available for the first 2 years, 1996 marked a huge shift. Ford introduced its new 4.6-liter modular V8 engine. This engine, especially in its dual overhead cam Cobra form, provided a more sophisticated and high revving power delivery. This generation also saw the creation of the SVT Cobra R, a track-focused beast that showed Ford was serious about competing with the world's best sports cars. A significant refresh in 1999, known as the new Edge design, sharpened the car's lines and kept it looking aggressive heading into the new millennium. The 2000s saw a wave of retrofuturism sweep through the auto industry, and Ford rode that wave perfectly. In 2005, they launched the fifth-generation Mustang, the S197. This was a bold and brilliant return to the car's roots. The design was a stunning, modern interpretation of the legendary 1967-1968 fastback. The long hood, the aggressive grille, the classic tri-bar tail light sit was all there. This wasn't just a styling exercise. It was backed by a new, more powerful 3-valve 4.6-liter V8 and a much-improved chassis. The public went wild. It was the perfect blend of nostalgia and modern performance. This era brought back legendary names like the Shelby GT, now boasting a supercharged V8 with over 500 horsepower, and introduced a new Boss 302 that many journalists called one of the best handling Mustangs ever made. The pony car wars were back on, and the Mustang was leading the charge once again. That brings us to the current generation, unveiled for the car's 50th anniversary in 2015. The sixth-generation Mustang, the S550, was a global game. For the first time, it was designed from the ground up to be sold worldwide, with right-hand drive models for markets like the UK and Australia. The biggest engineering leap was the introduction of a fully independent rear suspension across the entire lineup. This was a massive deal, transforming the Mustang from a muscle car into a true world-class sports car with handling that could finally rival its European competitors. Powertrain options included a potent EcoBoost 4-cylinder, proving efficiency and performance could coexist, and the glorious 5.0-liter Coyote V8, now pushing out well over 400 horsepower. This generation has given us incredible machines like the track-destroying Shelby GT350 with its flat-plane crank V8, and the monstrous 760 horsepower Shelby GT. And now, as we enter a new era, the story continues with the 7th generation. The Mustang remains a beacon of internal combustion passion, offering a new V8-powered dark horse model that promises the most track capability ever in a street Mustang. Yet, Ford has also expanded the family with the all-electric Mustang Mach-E. While controversial, it carries the Mustang's spirit of performance and forward-thinking into an electric future, from a simple, sporty car for the youth of the 60s to a global performance icon and now a pioneer in electrification. The Ford Mustang has never stopped evolving. It has mirrored the times, adapted to challenges, and consistently delivered on its promise of freedom and excitement. It's more than just a car. It's a piece of history, a cultural icon, and a symbol of the open road. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the history of the Ford Mustang. It's a truly amazing story, isn't it? What's your favorite Mustang generation? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And do UNT forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you do UNT miss our next automotive deep dive. Until next time, drive safe and stay passionate.